Hello, this is Sirena with Celestial Soul Wellness. Today we're having a lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is considered a supermoon lunar eclipse, and it's happening tonight at 9:10 p.m. Pacific time, and it's happening at 4 degrees Sagittarius. A little bit about eclipses. Eclipses are very similar to a full moon, except 10 times the strength. A little bit about astrology and the signs. Full moons affect us. They pull the tides, low tides, high tides. We are 70% water or more, depending on your health. And so we get affected by the tides also. So when we have eclipses, it pulls us even more. Okay? The things that are going on with us is really affected by the planets, because when we are born, the different planets are giving off different energy, and they're also doing different magnetic poles. So we're all going to be affected differently. Is this eclipse going to affect you? Well, it affects everybody in a universal way, but individually it depends if you have one of your personal planets, which is going to be your sun, your moon, Mars, Venus, or one of the universal planets, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, Saturn, can conjunction with the Sagittarius full moon. Okay, so now that you have an idea about the eclipse and how important an eclipse is, eclipse brings completion. A full moon lunar eclipse is a completion. That means something has been going on in our lives, a certain theme, and now we are finally at its ending. It served its purpose, and we are going to be letting it go. A lot of people don't like change, but change is good. We're always changing, and we're moving forward. So this eclipse is going to have us let loose of things that we don't need no longer in our lives, that are not serving its purpose. I know that sounds kind of cruel, but we do need to move on in our journey, our soul's journey, for what it is we individually need. And also we need to realize that not every relationship we're in, either at work, personal, neighbors, is for a lifelong journey. Sometimes it's just to help us cross the street, okay? And we need to remember that change is good. Every time we lose something, that allows something else to come in. So we close one door, a new door will get to open, all right? A little bit more about this full moon lunar eclipse. The Native Americans here in the United States call this full moon the full corn. This is the time when they get to enjoy the corn for the first time. The milk moon, the frogs return moon. So because they say nature tells us what's going to happen. The animals tell us what's going to happen with nature and the environment. So, and that's very important to be connected. Now, this is going back a little. This is the third eclipse in a row of this spring season. Many times we only have two in a row. A solar, lunar, not necessarily in that order, but this time we had three in a row. We had a lunar back in April, we had a solar earlier this month, and now we're having the lunar right now. So we are feeling these changes, everybody's going over crazy because they're like, oh, what do? I need to make certain decisions. They're acting out of instinct, this need to survive without realizing we're good. We're all good. We're surviving, and all it means is something new. And we should say, okay, give me the rule book to this something new, and let's do it. To move and react out of instinct means we're acting out of fear. When we're moving and doing things out of confidence and security, knowing in ourselves, we're going out of unconditional love and compassion for what is best for all around us, society and ourselves. Okay, so moving right along. Since this full moon eclipse is happening, lunar eclipse is happening in Sagittarius, we are understanding that we need to just stop. Things that we thought is going on in society is no longer. It's very important because we have, it's being affected by Pluto also, and we are understanding that the push and pull. Pluto is your typical, this is society, this is the way things are. Sagittarius says, oh, new things, let's rock and roll, let's travel, let's, be adventurous, let's be outside, stop being inside. The conventional Pluto being in Capricorn doesn't want to take its feet off the ground. They're scared. They really know how things are. But really, what is tradition? What is society's propaganda that they tell us, right? That means someone, which is a human being, prone to error, right? Not some great, you know, grand spirit telling us how we're supposed to think. No, this is why the lunar eclipse is here to tell us we are now creating a new tradition. We are creating new philosophies, new ideas for this society to build upon and our foundations, and to no longer follow the old establishment that has no purpose. One of the examples is, what is a family? Back then, we had the Leave It to Beaver family, Brady Bunch. We all knew where that left us, right? Nowadays, family comes in all sorts of sizes, okay? Sometimes there's one parent, sometimes there are two, sometimes they're the same sex, sometimes there's, no sex whatsoever in between those parents. But anyway, there's many children, children from other families are included. What is a family? A family is really those who want to give each other time, give each other love, give each other support, and willing to work things out. So that's just an idea of how ideas have changed. And family is just one idea. There's other things too. What is education? The conventional thought of education. A lot of people think education is really a form just to create slavery, really, making everybody think the same way. So that way you have these businesses, these corporations, that great, we got you already trained. Now we don't have to whip you in shape. Let's make you all believe that you need to stress out so much and not be able to enjoy your lives. That's just another idea. Another idea with a conventional way of thinking is we have to celebrate things in a certain way, or we can only celebrate. Those are new ideas we need to really think about and share. Our health is something very important. Sagittarius are very active. Remember, they're represented by the horse. They're strong, lean, okay, active. And whoa, this swing is swinging me all around. Sorry about that. Okay, so, and they run free. Yes, they can run on a track. Yes, they can be used to help other and guide other animals. The cowboys use them. But they need to be allowed to run free and roam around. And they need to be able to breathe in that oxygen. If they don't breathe in that oxygen, they are not going to be healthy. Okay, a lot of water is needed with lunar eclipses, especially since Sagittarius is a fire sign. All right. During this time, also, we need to realize that a lunar eclipse, or just a full moon, is opposite the sun. So we're going to have push and pull. So we're having a push and pull little tug of war between Sagittarius and Gemini. Sagittarius sees the big picture, okay? They think of society and everything like that. They want to philosophize, all right? They want to ponder the universe and think about the aliens. They want to really see, is all this worth it? Then you got the Gemini who's going, oh my goodness, did you see my latest shoes? And did you see what so-and-so was wearing? And my goodness, when I was watching that reality show, it's very into gossip. They know a little, Gemini is about knowing a little bit about everything. And also about like jack of all trades. They're not going to know in depth about information. Also, they want to look on the material, the outside, whereas Jupiter is going on the inside. Remember, Jupiter is about expanding. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury, if we think back with the gods in mythology, he's that flash, woof, 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 going here, going there. You okay? Not spending any time really to get a lot of information. So there's a lot of flash things going on. We're getting told a lot of stuff. A lot of communication is going with our neighbors, all right, with the people who surround us, of course with our loved ones, has to be. We interact with them a lot. And probably also with our mentors, our teachers, because of Sagittarius. Now we also have to remember that a lot of things are going to be blurred. Why? Because we got Neptune affecting us. There's a T-square with Neptune, okay? And Neptune is remember, he's the god of the oceans, the waters down there, and the sea. And so we're not going to see things as clearly as we would through daylight. So a lot of information, remember, information we are receiving is by a certain person's perspective. So person A might be telling us something, saying, yeah, this is green, when we actually think it's turquoise, okay? Maybe they're a little bit colorblind too. We don't even realize, how they're seeing it. And then we taking that information and we thinking something is true. And then we accuse them later saying it's not true when it actually is true in their own minds. But we just happen to interpret it differently. The way they interpret what green was, what we interpret, we cannot go accusing anybody of any deceit or deception or lie. We have to just take everything into consideration and really be compassionately understanding and going, hey, we just have different perspectives. And the best thing is to not react. Do not react. Do not use your reptile mentality. Remember, we are evolved human beings. At least we like to think so sometimes. Or every time we have an argument, we say, well, I'm the adult, especially when I'm arguing, right, with my son. But so don't react. Just relax. Take a deep breath. You don't even have to say anything. Sometimes the best thing to do is not say anything and just go, I'll take that into consideration. Thank you. I'll get back to you on that. Now, Neptune is going to be affecting, really stirring the pot here until after Monday. So the best thing to do is be careful with any drugs, prescribed, legal or illegal, alcohol, okay? If you fall down, hit your head, really take the time because to recover, because right now we're seeing everything, remember, through clouds, all right, not really how things are. So that's another thing that Neptune can happen. So if your car is really dirty and you're driving, you might get a bunch of glares. Okay, that's just another example. So remember also Neptune deals a lot from underneath. So we're bringing up those emotions. Don't need to. Just relax, breathe through it. Go take a walk, hug a tree. Sagittarius love hugging trees. There's a new thing called koalaing right now, like the koalas, where they climb up on the trees completely. Okay, and really let yourself be grounded. What will help too during this time is wearing stones that'll help you be grounded. Sagittarius really loves turquoise. Turquoise. The Native Americans are known for wearing a lot of turquoise because it grounds them. It helps that energy go back into the center of the earth and into our center. Okay? So it races through all our chakras. Remember, we need our chakras open, cleansed, and balanced. Okay? When we have a closed chakra, we're not really functioning to our optimal self. Also, we need to remember that Sagittarius is dealing with the higher chakras here, okay, connection with the higher thoughts and higher beings, and that life is not all about what's going on here. If we're just worried about materialistic things, we're on the wrong track, okay? We really are here in that Sagittarius is telling us, this lunar eclipse through Sagittarius, is to evolve our soul, our higher beings. Remember, we are now on a different conscious level. The fifth dimension, 2012 passed and came and passed in December. We're here, and that's because we're in a new dimension of developing ourselves. Okay, moving right along. So let's see here. Okay, this is an explosive time of remembering life is like a chess game. We need to keep our composure. We're making a move. We're looking at it, but we really don't need to compete. This is no longer a life of competition, okay? They created that with all these wars. We really know what these wars are about. Trying to deplete other countries of their natural resources so these companies, okay, can make money off of it, when we all know that we really don't need these oils, okay? We don't even need cars. There's other ways and more realistic ways, and we need to remember that to be universal. So we need to be less materialistic, less indulging in the old establishment of these materialistic ways in superficial ways, okay? Because it's our own fault if we say, well, I'm only going to drink this kind of water, or I'm only going to eat this and that. I mean, that's not healthy for us too. If we allow them to keep putting certain shots into the animals and we're eating it and then wondering, wow, how am I sick? That's our own faults too for not being aware, okay? They say, a lot of times they say ignorance is bliss. In this case, ignorance is not bliss. It affects our health. And Sagittarius, once again, I mentioned before, is very into health, is very strong. And moving on, okay? Let's see here. Be careful of allowing repressed emotions coming out, and make sure that you're directing your thoughts to the people who are involved in those thoughts. If you're a very moody type and you just are not in the mood to be around other people, you're just going to have to wear a sign and tell them, I think it's best I be left alone, or I'm going to go into my little cave. Okay, don't take it personal. I got things I need to sort out. Because there's other people, like Sagittarius is very happy too. They're very optimistic. I mean, unfortunately, they're the major gamblers. They're like, we're good. Everything is great, okay? So if you're more into the like negativity and all that, you're going to have to really say, why am I so negative? What is it that I'm fearing? The major thing you're probably fearing is taking that first step and failing. And there's no such thing as failure. Failure, remember, is not trying at all. And failure also is trying not to revamp it. So when we fall down or a mistake, all that means is, hey, let's revamp that style. We are all human. If you're worried about what people are thinking about you, get over it. No one should be thinking anything or having an opinion, because those people are being very superficial. And if they don't want to give us their unconditional love, you know what? There's other places to get love, because we are not emotional vampires with energy. The horse of Sagittarius just has its own energy, all right? The cowboy, the human, drains the energy from the horse, but the horse does not take from the cowboy. Remember that, okay? And so we are providing our own energy. Very important. Well, that's enough for today and about this lunar eclipse. Later on, I'll be going over some chakra healings for this lunar eclipse and some yoga poses. And remember, this is Sirena from Celestial Soul Wellness. And thank you for watching and listening. If you have any questions or would like your own astrology reading of how this eclipse is going to affect you personally, by all means, visit my website or go ahead and give me a phone call. Okay, and I'm on Facebook under Sirena Astrology. Have a wonderful and glorious evening and weekend. Be careful, it's Memorial Day weekend. Bye-bye.